Blessings. I am the Reverend Douglas Taylor, and I am excited to have you join me for another episode of Digging Deeper with Reverend Douglas. Each session, I respond to a question that has come to me from a member of the congregation or somebody who watches this program regularly. Uh, Please send me your questions. My email address is dtaylor@uubinghamton.org. Our question today comes from the internet. Somebody asked, why do people respond to education with hate and anger? So my thought on this is sort of in two parts. One is the question of education. Why do people respond to education with hate and anger? Education is a particular thing, and it may be that what you're doing is not education. It may be that what you're doing is giving information, which is not the same thing. Education is about a connection that's being made. There's a really old analogy that I've run across in pedagogy and books that I've read and all that about one version of what people think is happening with education is it's like a bank account, and the teacher makes a deposit into the brain of the student, and then the student has it. But that's not what's really happening. And so, but I would understand that if that's how you think about education, it would feel like I've given this gift to this person, and the person then responds with anger and hatred. Oh, it doesn't fit. Well, you're right, it doesn't fit. But that's not how education actually happens. Instead, it's more like a garden. And as an educator, you can plant a seed, you can add some water, you can fertilize, you can pull some weeds, but it's not your garden. It's their garden. It's actually their work to do that. And so as an educator, you have to be invited into that garden. You can't just go in and plant a seed and then wonder why they're upset at you for doing that. You can't go in and just pull a weed and think that that's going to be acceptable. That's their garden. So education is about a relationship. You need to be connected with the students. You need to be connected with the people that you're talking with. The other side of this whole thing is anger and hatred don't just like come out of nowhere. So part of what you can do with this question, why does educating someone, why do some people respond with anger and hatred? Partly it's that maybe you need to work on how are you educating, right? But the other side of this is it's not about you. It's about that individual. Hate and anger don't come out of nowhere. Usually what that might mean is that there's something else, there's something deeper, that when you've offered this information or you've tried to plant a seed, you've touched on something that is, you've hit a nerve, you've questioned their worldview. This isn't just a simple thing of like, well, that's actually the color yellow, not the color orange. It's more of a big thing, like you're actually not a good person when you thought you were. And you might not think that that's what you're saying, and it's not about you. It's about their receiving of this education that you've offered. And again, it's their garden. It's up to them. It's their work. You can be there to support them, to do some of the watering, to offer some of the weeding and the seed planting, but ultimately, it's their garden. This has been Digging Deeper with Reverend Douglas. Blessings upon you all.